Welcome back, guys. Automotive Inc. So today we're not necessarily doing truck stuff or anything like that. Today we're adding some protection to our vehicles. I think we all know that cars are our next biggest investment besides our homes, and sometimes you can put protection on there, but it just doesn't look that well. So on these door edges right here, a lot of times you'll see some of that black or chrome or even a clear like rubbery film. Well, some of that stuff can actually scratch your door over time because it gets embedded dirt underneath it from you cleaning and wind and stuff like that. It'll actually eat away the paint, so it's protecting you as you open it and whatnot from that, but eventually it still kind of leaves an ugly mark. Well, at the dealer, they're going to sell you sometimes a kit, and you can tell them not to, but after I show you how inexpensive this is to do this little trick, I've already done it to the Kia, I've already done it to several other cars, and it's adding clear bra runners on the backside edges of the door. So they're going to overlap a little bit and go on the back a little bit. And it's a very inexpensive. You can buy 2 rolls for under $25, and you can do this to your car. Again, the amount of time you spend in prep and care doing it will affect how well it comes out. So what I would do is I'll put links in the video to all of the stuff. So you're gonna need a cheap water bottle that I like to mix like a 50-50 isopropyl alcohol mix up in water. And what that does is it cuts grease down, works really well. You can use this for just about anything, washing windows and whatnot. It takes off the road grime and evaporates quickly, doesn't make a mess. The smell of it is very short because it evaporates pretty quick. Gonna need some microfiber towels. You're gonna need some of this tape. Now, some of the guys or gals on the internet are selling cut down versions of like a bigger roll. So they'll have a 3-inch roll and they'll cut it somehow, probably with a bandsaw or whatnot. And so it leaves a rough edge. So if that is the case and you get it and it feels kind of rough, you're going to want to take that away because sometimes that rough edge won't look all that good here. So you'll need an Exacto knife, which is like a small hobby knife, and you can just take a steel ruler and trim down those edges. But if you get a 1-inch roll, it's much easier to trim down that roll and then have plenty to play with here. I decided to go with a 1/2 inch this time just to see, so I didn't have as much on the back to cut it off, but I usually will run a 1-inch on that. So once you get one side of that cleaned off, your clean edge is what's going to be the side that's going to be out here. You're going to take some of that alcohol, clean it up, everything. The reason why I like that alcohol tube is because not only does it cut the grease, it's going to get a good adhesion to it, but it's also going to evaporate quickly, so you don't have to worry about wetness. If you're going to use water and a sponge, that's fine. Just keep in mind to make sure that that's really, really dry. You're not going to need a heat gun or anything for this process, and really you can go as far as high as you want. So, I usually try and pick the outer edges. So if you look down the edge of a car, you'll see where it kind of bulges out and cuts in. Doesn't necessarily need it where it cuts in, but more so where it bulges out. Now, again, this is something that you can take off at any time. It will protect it. You really won't even be able to see that it's on there. You'll do it with all 4 of your doors. The back door is a little bit shorter on some cars, so it's even easier. And really, you're just going to kind of line it up. So we've already got it all cleaned up and everything. I've already cut this down. I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like. This is what it looks like before, and then we'll show you what it looks like after. Now, guys, I will put a link in the bottom of the description for this. Is kind of like a window tint tool. You can buy the kit on the Zon for, not that much. It's usually under $15. And these tools come in handy for even cleaning the car later and everything like that. But this would be like a tucking tool for window tint or clear bra. Again, very simple stuff. You don't even have to have this. You can use your thumb. You can use that. If you want to use something hard that doesn't look like this, as long as you have a nice microfiber towel, this is just what's going to push the air bubbles out. So as you can see right here, we basically started here with this line. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to work our way down the door. Again, as long as you have the imperfections out, like little specks of dirt, those will show up on there, especially on a white car, it'll show up. But if you kind of misalign it, you can pick it up really gently and realign it, so it's not going to be permanent. This is not a permanent adhesive. It's not going to damage the paint or anything like that. But again, because it has a rubbery texture to it, when you swing your door open, it can add protection from other people, or potentially if the door gets out of your hands and it goes in there and slaps it. So we're starting right here. We're getting it lined up, and then like I said, we're going to cruise back over it with this to kind of push it down. And this is like a piece of felt, but like I said, you can use these tools for everything. All right, guys, so now I got a close-up here for you. So this is what it's going to look like once you get it on. Again, you can go as high as you want with the handle here, and then this going back in towards the car. It's about as high as we need to get it to go. And then what you're going to do is you're going to not push this, you're only going to push this side down at first, and then you're going to kind of push from here. And what that does is it's going to actually push the other side of the tape around the corner, so then you can push it down. So you don't want to just grab it and push it because it created an air bubble here on the back. So you just kind of keep pushing it around the edge of the corner like that. Just pulls the tape down. And you probably can't see it, but you can see where the bubbles are still remaining in here, or it just needs to be pushed down the rest of the way. So once you get it done like that, then you can just kind of run your finger up it this way. And that's it, guys. So, I mean, at the end of the day, again, you can pay some at the dealer. There are great professionals that do this. This is their livelihood. And if you have the budget, feel free to pay them to do it. However, if budget conscious is still in your mind and you have a steady hand and you have probably a half hour to do this to your vehicle, you'll find out that the investment to you doing it is substantially less. Usually it's several $100s for these door edge guides to be put on, and you know, you're talking probably less than if you buy all the tools and all the spray bottles and stuff, which you'll be able to use again on future projects of any kind or even around the house. You're probably talking less than $30 for a card to do it. So it's definitely worth a shot. So again, guys, I appreciate you being here. Again, this is just like a little hack here. I'll actually take you out and show you how it looks on the Sorrento also real quick. But down there in the corner is the subscribe button. If you wouldn't mind giving me a like, and we'll see you on the next one, of course. But let me just walk you around the Sorrento and show you how that one turned out. So this is us walking up to the car. This is obviously a dark green, and you can hardly see it. So if we get real close in here, you can see. And what that did is I didn't do this before. I'd already scratched the door right here. So now this is going to be protected from any type of stuff getting underneath the paint or chewing that away. But and then the back door again, it's going to be a little bit smaller. So, and that's just something I started doing on all my cars to add some extra protection to it. It's cheap insurance, and it actually adds value to your car. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you on the next one.